Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So in this video we are going to create this toast notification button. Each time you click, it's gonna create a random colored random text notification on this side, which is called toast notification, and they disappeared after some time. So without any more talking, let's get into the coding. So I'm going to go and first create a pen. Pen is ready, so let's start with the HTML. Now they in Codepen they already have the boilerplate installed, so they do not recommend us to put the boilerplate in here. So what will I do is, first I'm going to create the button, and the button will have a class of btn. And so as you can see, the button is here, but it doesn't have any content and any styling, so it's just like a little underscore. I'm going to type show notification, and I'm going to save it. Okay, so it's saved now. Okay, under that I'm going to create a div with a id of toasts, and inside I'm going to create div with a class of not actually like this, it's div dot class div dot, and now the class will be toast, and I'm going to simply type message 1. Okay, let's save it. So we have this message right here. I'm going to copy it just for demonstration purposes. Copy, paste, and change this 1 to 3. Okay, so our HTML is basically done. We won't be inserting the toasts here manually, it's going to be inserted here with JavaScript. So first we are going to style the UI. So I'm going to say in here box sizing border box. That will be the reset. I'm not going to reset margin on padding, and I'm going to give the body a background color of Rebecca purple. I hope that I typed it correctly. Yes, Rebecca purple. And I'm going to set its display as flex, and align items center, justify content center. Okay, so they are not actually centered, they are here. The reason behind this is the body doesn't have a height, so I'm going to get this height of 100 viewport height. Guys, first of all I'm gonna say sorry for any background noises. If you hear, margin will be set to 0. Okay, and let's just get the body overflow hidden, so if anything goes outside the boundary it gets hidden. We don't want any scroll bars. So let's style the button. The button, I'm going to give this button a background of white, and border of none. I don't want these borders, so they are gone right now. The color will be Rebecca purple, and oh, let's add a font family. I forgot to add the font family. I'm going to give this a font family of Roboto. In Codepen, I don't have to include any font family from Google. They are already pre-installed in the browser. Not in the browser, in the Codepen database. So I can just simply type out the name. And now the button, I'm going to set the font size to 16 pixel, and yeah, it's a little big, and give this a padding of 1 rem and 1.5 rem on the side, 1 rem on top and bottom, and 1.5 rem on left and right, and a little bit of border radius of 6 pixel. Don't look at this, we are going to style this afterwards. So we are going to add a so we are going to add an animation. So let's set the cursor to pointer, so this finger, this hand icon shows up whenever you hover on this. So when you click on this, we want an animation to show. So when we click, it's became active. So we need to style this. What happens when it's active? Whenever we click on any object or a button or a anchor, when you click, it becomes active in an active state. So we have to specify that what happens when it's in active state. So I'm just going to say transform scale. I'm going to scale it down of 0.95. It's not too much, it's just a little bit. So if I just click, you can see that it gets scaled down, and when I remove my mouse, so it came out of its active state. It's in normal states, it becomes this. Okay, so now we have to style the toast container, which is the toast's id div. You can just give it a class if you don't prefer to use a id to style something. I'm going to just style this container with id. I'm going to give this a position of absolute so okay, and now I'm going to say bottom 20 pixel and right 20 pixel. So it's now here, and I'm going to say display flex. So now they comes on side by side. I don't need that, I need them to come in column. Yeah, we don't want any typos, so I have to type everything correctly. And align items flex, and so everything sticks to this side, not this side, this side. You can see that there is a gap depending on the content. It sticks with this side. This side is not going to be even, this side is going to be even. So we're gonna change the message afterwards in the JavaScript. Now we style the toast these messages. You can see we are going to style, we have a class applied to them as toast. So let's style this, give them a background of FFF white, and padding of 1 rem on all sides. Yeah, it's a little big. Now border radius, set this to 5 pixel, not that much, and a margin on all sides, or you can just say margin on top. That will be enough to just 10 pixels. So they get a little spaced between them. Each message will get a space between them. Now we are going to give them a basic color of, Rebecca purple, just for now. We are going to change the color of them randomly in JavaScript. So yeah, our basic message is complete. Now we can select them. We don't want that to happen, so we are going to say user dash select will be none. Okay, so now no one can select whatever in there. Well, our CSS is done pretty much. Now we are going to move into the JavaScript section. Here the fun begins. So we are going to remove this messages from the toast container, because we need to be able to add them with JavaScript. Whenever we click on the notification button, they are gonna appear. So let's remove this. So now that is empty. Okay, a little refresh there. So we are going to make a const, and we are going to take this button. So this button has a class of btn, so we are going to say document dot query selector. Let's just take this a little bit. Now we want that btn. Okay, so now we are taking this button btn inside this variable, and we want another one, and that is our toast container. So I'm just going to name them toast cont, cont, short form for container. I'm not going to give that a full name. You can give that if you want. So I'm not going to select that. It has an id, so we can say that query selector inside parenthesis. Instead of dot, we can give this a hash to select this, just like we select in CSS. But I'm going to give this a get element by id. id, get element by id. Let's not get this get element by id. Query selector, because I don't know if I type something wrong. Toast. Okay, so our toast is selected and it's inside, it's called toast container. So now we are going to create two arrays. First will be called random message. In this array we are going to pass in 4 messages. So the first one I'm going to say very good. You can type any message, because in real world projects this is not going to be like this. It's just fun random project. So next I'm going to type not so good. In the second I'm going to type what should I say, hello developers, and of course one of very why am I typing p, bad, very bad. with an exclamation mark. Okay, so this is going to be our first array, and we are going to create another array, colors, and in this array I am going to type info. We are going to give three values inside this array. First is going to be info, the second is green, and the third one is going to be red. Okay, my English is not so good. I'm going to make sure I improve my English. So now we are going to add an event listener on this button. Each time we click it, we are going to run a function. So type button dot add event listener, and we are going to listen for a click, and whenever a click happens, we are going to call for a function get random message. Okay, so now it's going to be an arrow function. Yeah, so now we are going to create this function get random message, and inside this message, first we are going to create an div, because the toast was a div, right? Remember, so you can use let. I'm going to just use let. You can use const too. Don't use var, that's not good, not a good practice. So toast element, I'm going to name is toast el element, and I'm going to say document dot create element. That's how we create an element, and we're going to create a div. You have to pass in the tag name inside a set of curly braces, maybe no, not curly braces, but are this called in English? Parenthesis, maybe. I don't recall. You have to pass it like this, like a string. And next we are going to add a class in this, because we want this to be styled, and we've set a style in this toast class. So we are going to say toast element dot class list dot add. We are going to add a class list of toast. Don't add your classes like this, add this like this. Okay, we're going to add a class list, and now we are going to add a inner text toast dot I inner text, and the inner text we are going to call a function call get. Oh, I think I did something bad. Oh, sorry, this is not going to be the name. We are going to say create toast. Sorry. This is also going to be create toast. In here we are going to call for this random message. We are going to call this create toast function whenever we click, and we are going to call for this get random message function for the inner text, because we want this text randomly. Okay, I'm really sorry I didn't saw that. So now we are going to create this get random message function. We're going to say function get random message, and inside this function we're going to return. So how do you return array from here to here? Sorry, how do you return an array uh, value from an array? You have to copy this array and you have to say this like 1. If I want the first one, this very good, then I have to say 1. We want to return the number 1, which is very good. So if I just do that, and I'm going to simply append this inside, I'm just showing you, append this inside here by append child, and we're going to append this toast element. Okay, so if I click, if I what is wrong, append child cannot read property of append child of null. Why did you say it's null? Toast content query selected toast. Oh, it's toasts. I named that toasts. Toast. Okay, I think now it will work. If I click, you can say it's just giving me the one. Oh, it starts is 0 base. Sorry, it's 0 base. So it's gonna for 0 it takes very good, and for 1 it's gonna take not so good. So if I just say, you can see that there is a lot actually. So I don't want this. Instead, what I want is to get a random message. So I'm going to say math.floor, and I'm going to type math.random because we want a random number, and I'm going to multiply this with our random message dot boolean gth. Okay, so what's that doing is it's generating a random number, and it's multiplying that random number with the length, which is 4. So it's not going to hit 4, it's going to be go highly high 3, because it's 0 based, and also math random function does not generate the maximum number value, which is 4 in here, because we set random message length, which is when you say length is going to start counting from 1 and it's gonna to go to 4. So it's saying that multiply this by 4, and if we multiply any number with math.random, it's gonna go from 0 to that number, but it's not going to hit that number, it's going to always stay below it, and it's going to generate a point number. So when you say floor, it's going to remove all the points and take a solid number, and that's how we are taking a random number each time and passing this in here, and we are going to return this inside the inner text here, and we are going to append that toast element inside this. So if I hit notification, why are you saying undefined? Get random message math.floor math.random into random message dot length len random message dot length. Let me check. Should not say undefined. Why is giving me undefined, bro? Why? Oh, uh, see, just to set up brackets can make your function go wiggle 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 wiggle. So now it's gonna work because mat.random function needs a set of brackets to run. Now if we hit, you can see it's generating random, it's taking the random text from there. But now we have a problem because this is staying. We want this, all of this, to go after a little amount of time. So we are going to say set timeout. It's a function. We are going to set set timeout function, and what we'll do is we are going to take that toast element and we are going to remove that from the DOM after, and you specify the time at the end of the function with a comma and 2000, and 2000 it's millisecond based, so 2000 millisecond means 2 seconds. If I hit now, it's going to get disappear after 2 seconds. See, if I hit a lot, now you can see after 2 seconds they all disappears. Okay, so that was good. Now we want random color, because right now you can see they are all purple. We want them to get a color of blue, not blue, it's steel blue, and green and red. So we've specified this. Remember, we set info green and red. So we are going to set them inside all the toast randomly as a class. So we are going to repeat that class list dot add, and we are not going to say take any of this. What we'll instead do is we are going to run a function called get colors. Okay, so this function is going to return a random color just like we did in here. So we are going to copy this and we are going to paste that in here, and we are going to take this, copy this, is that name here, and we have these colors. So we are going to copy these colors in here. I'm going to paste that, and we have to change this one to okay. So now it's returning a random color from this color array with that same random function. Now if I now the class is applied, but they are not changing colors. That is because we haven't specified what that class is about. So we are going to say if info is if anything has an info class, we are going to give that a color of steel blue. If there is green class, we are going to give this a color of green, and if there is a red class, we are going to give this a color of red. I hope that makes sense. We are just setting these classes randomly, and each class has a different color. So instead of showing this Rebecca purple color, it's going to show us these colors depending on the class. So if I hit reload, you can see sometimes it's green, sometimes it's red, sometimes it's steel blue. So now we have created our little toast notification fun project. I hope you guys like it, and I'm going to leave this code in the description. You will find this code in the description with a Codepen link, and you can see how it works. You can try this function to add form validation in your forms, because we don't want user to click on a button and see notifications without any reason. What we want is whenever there is a form and user is typing in username and password and hitting submit, if there is any wrong, the user gets a message in here, just like this, a message, and that will not be random. It is depending on what type of mistake the user has made, is going to show that message there, and it's going to save for a little amount of time and then go away. So you can play with this function. It's really easy, it's not that hard. And as I said, I'm going to give this code link in the description, Codepen link, so you can see how this really works instead of typing all of this. And if you want to type it out, then that's really good, because that is a really good practice. And I'm going to just format this, and also format this, and format this. Okay, so this is good. I just formatted all of this. Well, I hope you guys like this, so make sure to subscribe to see more tutorials, and like for more videos, and share this video to those who needs to see how this works. And that's for all today, and thank you. Bye bye.